since we can have this first, then after the Power Query, we try to use Power Pivot, and then from there we go to Power Map. So those are the things we are going to look at. So, but let me start with Power Query. So, is there anyone that is familiar with Power Query on Microsoft Excel? Do you have anybody? Have you used it before? Probably you've seen someone using it, or you've tried it before. Yeah, it's nothing. What we can use to we use Power Query to get data. You can use Power Query to get data from. So in case your data is not within Microsoft Excel, your data is not within SQL Server, your data is not within CSV file. So how can you connect your Microsoft Excel to any type of data source in the whole world? Whether it is Amazon, whether it is Y Cloud, or whether it's Microsoft Cloud, or you have Oracle database, how can you connect to it? So that's what we use Power Query to do, because we have what we call, there's three things we normally do with Power Query. We extract data from the source. If the data is not clean, we try to transform it to normal data. If it is not structured or unstructured data, then you can also combine data. Maybe you have multiple sources of data. So one data is coming from SAP, one data is coming from SQL Server. How can you combine these? And another thing is you can load all these data to your data model, or you can load it to your data to your data model or to your Microsoft Excel. If the data is not that big, you can load it to your Microsoft Excel. So now let me, if you can see my screen clearly, let me show you one thing. I have one video here. Just watch it and see how. Can you hear the sound? Can you hear my system sound? Right? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
I can hear you, sir. There's background noise, though. Somebody crying.
We can hear you, but there's a background noise.
Can you hear my system sound?
And we can hear you, but there's a background noise.
Hello?
Okay, hello, good morning.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes.
I can hear you, sir.
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Sorry, I think it's like the network is not stable. So let me share my screen again. Let me share with audio. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay. So let me play this.
I don't see your screen yet, please.
I want everybody to watch this video so that you can. What about now?
Yes, we can
Can you
see
see
it.
it?
We can see your screen. Yes. I can see your
Yes,
screen
we
now.
can see it.
Okay.
We can see the screen. Map of Nigeria.
Okay, perfect. Yes, yes, you are getting it. So imagine you have geographical information and you want to kind of project it to people like using map. See what you can see. Sound to just let you know that you can do the audio. Maybe you are trying to send this kind of video to someone and you want to document it, like you want to add audio to it. You can play it and add your own voice to it. You can do documentary. So by adding your audio to it, either you record it separately and add it to it, and then so you can do something like this with Power Map on your Microsoft Excel. So these are kind of what you can achieve with all those advanced features of Microsoft Excel. So let's go back to our business. Let me open up my Microsoft Excel. I believe most of us have upgraded our Excel. So I'm having new document here. So if you are using 2013, if you are using 2016, I think you are fine. So you can see your data to the place where you see get data. Let me show you something here. So, you know, normally we have data like what we used last week. We have our data saved somewhere, and we have a folder called data source on my system, and we have this superstore data. This is what we used last week. Am I correct? So please, I want to see your comments. If you have any issue, let me open up my comments box, my chat. Okay, so that I can. So I'm having this. So I have this data, but you know, instead of me working on this data direct, what if this data is increasing on daily basis? What if I work on it today and the data also increase tomorrow? I want to update my dashboard based on the data. no matter how the increment in data or any other part of the data on my file, I want to automatically reflect it on my on my dashboard. Or I want to do some data cleaning. I want to clean some things out of this data, and I don't want to repeat it tomorrow again. How can I transform this data? How can I work with it so that people should be able to see something good? And I don't want to repeat my work every day. I don't want people to see me doing the same thing every day. So let the system work for me. Instead of Excel to be using, you to be using Microsoft Excel, don't let Microsoft Excel to be using you. So there are some things you can automate by yourself, like, okay, what you normally do every day within your work. You know, some people at their place of work, they always give them data every day to analyze. And they do the same thing every day. So instead of wasting much of your time, why can't you automate this process? Like what you do to your Power Query, using Power Query, you take it to your Power Query editor. From your Power Query editor, you clean it. After you clean the data, the steps you took to clean this data, the system will record it for you. And then tomorrow, we take that same data again to that process. It will automatically help you to clean it up. You don't have to repeat the same thing every day. So let's say, for instance, I want to use this data today now. I want to use this data. We will also work this in case of knowing how relationship work. So Microsoft Excel, go to data. That's how you have to start with Power Query. So go to data. You need data from where you want to connect to your data source. So I hope you can see my screen. So you go to get data. From get data, so where is your data coming from? That's the reason why I told you that we can connect your Microsoft Excel to different data sources. From this place now, where is your data coming from? Your data, is it coming from Workbook, which is Microsoft Excel Workbook, or is it coming from test? Or for the programmers, you know, we have an extension called XML or JSON. You can extract our data to this kind of format. Or is your data even coming from PDF? If you have table within your PDF, this will help you to extract it out. So with all this, or you want to combine query, you want to merge, you want to get it from other source. You see, you have different data source. We have from Azure, from Power BI data set, from online service, from where, from other sources such as, and also we have, let me check this. Let me check more option. Okay. Yeah, I think when we get to Power BI, we'll be seeing that we are going to look at that. So, but now from Microsoft Excel, we are getting our data from where? From Workbook. So let me click. Please, if you don't get what I'm saying, if you don't get what I'm showing you, just let me know. We have this, and also I want to get the data from this folder, and this is my data source, and this is my data. So let me pick this and do what? Import. You can't find get data on your Excel. What are you seeing there? What are you seeing? So from this data now, I have a sheet called order, which is this. I have another sheet. I have dashboard, but I don't need all this. So what I need is this table, this other table. So that's what I need. But I don't know whether there's any issue with this table or I have to clean it. I can't just load this data direct to my Power Query. Wow, Elizabeth, you can't find data. Okay, you can't see my screen. Okay. Yeah. Just check very well. You see it there. So let me transform this data. Let me transform it. So immediately you click on transform, it will take you to the Power Query editor. Can you see clearly? So I'm having my query editor here. I have a lot of things there. So let's say I have this my row ID, order ID. So what else do I need here? Do I need any other thing? Hello. Edit anything here? Do I need to clean any data here? I don't think so. I think all my data. Okay, let's check if our data is normal. So for you to do that, you can go under view. You can say column quality. I want to see the quality of all this data. Are they correct? Are they not? On the first row, first column, I have 100%, like the data is normal, no issue. And also I'm having all this. Let me check. Is there any error with my data? Am I having no value? No, everything is perfect. Can you see? So showing that this data is correct, you can continue with it. But assuming that there's any error, assuming there's any problem with it, you have to edit it. You have to edit it. So, but what I'm going to do now is loading this data direct to Power BI, to your Microsoft Excel, because we don't have any issue with this data. But let's assume that we don't need some fields, some column. If you don't need some column here, you can delete and see what will happen. Okay. So I think I need everything. Okay, let's assume that I don't need this shift date. So if I delete this now, I just want you to notice something. If I delete this column now, so you see remove column. I have remove column here. I can remove this column, or I can press Control. I can press Delete key on my keyboard. So I'll just do what? I'll come to this place and do what? Remove this column. But do you notice something on my screen? Immediately I remove that column, steps that I apply to this data has been recorded. Like, okay, at this point, you remove a particular column. This specific column that I remove, if I want to bring it back, I'll only delete this remove column here from the step applied to my data. So I guess we are all on the same page. So after removing this column, it will help me to take note of that. Then I don't need any other thing again. I don't have any other thing to do with this data again than for me to start my analysis. So, but how do I load it to my Excel? This is Power Query Editor. This interface is what we call Power Query Editor. Now, if I try to load it now, it will give me two options because I'm doing it for the first time on this data. Now, I have close and load, and I have close and load too. Now, this close and load will take me to Excel straightforward. But if I'm doing close and load to, it will take me to data. I can add this to data model. Okay, let me do close and load, and I will also do close and load too. So if I do close and load, let's see. Can you see 9,994 rows loaded? So having it on this, and can you see the table? Everything is here. I'm having it here. So I don't need to stress myself. I can only add this and start, or I can click anywhere and start my analysis. Or I want to create my dashboard. I want to create anything here. I want to create my report. So I can do this direct like this. Or if my data is much, like for instance, now, if I decide to delete this, I don't want it to load on my Microsoft Excel. I don't want this to load on my Microsoft Excel direct. Let me delete this. So can you see now? I'm having order as connection only. Now I can right click and do load to. Or let me go back to my query editor. To go back to your query editor, you need to do what? You need to do edit. Someone is chatting. So going back to my query editor, can you see what I'm having here? So you need to do what? You need to come back to your editor, and you can do, can you see now the close and load to is not active again. I didn't mean for the first time I want to do it to ask me, am I loading my data to data is above 1,048,000. But now I've done that already. I don't need to stress myself. Close your query editor, come back to your data, right click on it and say load to. Can you see? I'm having only connection to my data now, but I want to load it to data model. If data is actually big, you know, the number of rows that we said Excel can accumulate is what? 1,048,000. Now I have this. What will happen? It's before what you choose was what? Table. That was the reason why it loaded it to Microsoft Excel Direct. But now I'm taking it to data model. I'm taking this to data model. Just click OK on your screen. Now it's loading. It has loaded this data to where? Data model. But mind you, some people will send you reports sometimes, and you will not see anything. You'll not be asking, okay, where is the data residing on your Microsoft Excel file? They have the data on their on the workbook, but because they loaded the data to what? To where? To their data model. You cannot see it until you go to data model. So now doing this, where can you find your data model? That's another thing. On one icon there, if you are using 2016, 2019, or 365, you will see this icon. Go to where? Go to Power Pivot window. You know what? We used ordinary pivot table last week, but this week now we are talking about Power Query. We are talking about Power Pivot, and also we are talking about Power Map. So now let's do this. Let's check where is my power pivot? You know, on my tab now, if you are using this advanced, if you have activated your add-in from your, maybe you are using 2016, 2013, if you have activated your add-in, you can see power pivot on your tab. But also on your data tab, when you go to data 2, you see data model here, which is here. I can click on this, or come to my power pivot and click on this manage. Either of the two, it will take you to the same place, and it will open up another window for you. So now let me check on this data tab and go to my word, go to power pivot here. So can you see it's coming up? So the data coming from my Power Query, I have it where on my data model. I can see my data in what? In data view. I can also see it in diagram view. See, can you see? This is my diagram view. I have more than one table, and I want to create relationship between them. This is where I will do all the data modeling. This is where I'm going to write my dash formula. You know, we are using ordinary Excel function and formula on a normal Microsoft Excel. But note, we are going to be using dash expression, which is data analytics expression. So that's what we are going to be using, the formula we are going to be using on this part of my data view. Let me go back to my, if you want to close this, you close this by doing this. You still take it back to your Microsoft Excel, and then you do what? You can start creating your report now. Let me go back to data model by doing what? Going to Power Pivot, go to Manage, and then you can click anywhere within your data and do the same thing that we did last week, which is what? Pivot table, you see? But the pivot table we are having here is different to what you have before. This is Power Pivot. Can you see different options here? We have pivot table, we have pivot chart, we have chart and table horizontal, we have chart and table vertical, we have chart, two charts at the same time, two chart vertical, and then we have flattening table. I want to create something like what I did last week was creating our simple dashboard. Yeah, let me do this. Let me quickly do chart. Can you see? Let me use my existing workbook and take it to this place. Can you see now? Our feed list today. Can you see all that? I can expand this, I can open it, then I can do my charts based on what? Let me do segment and what, and my profit. So can you see this sample now? This one is not showing table beside it. Maybe when you want to create a pivot chart, it was showing table. It helps you to create table and chart at the same time. But this one is only showing us what? It's only showing us charts, and it will make your work neat. You don't need to be moving your chart from one place to another again. Let me remove legend. Let me hide all these buttons, and let me do something here. Let me try to slicer. You see, I can also add the slicer to this. I can add timeline. So, you know, last week we were talking about slicer and timeline, but today I will use that. So let me assume that this is my chart, this is my first chart. Let me add another intensity, like top 10 city. Let me go to my 5 design. Okay, 5 again. I can do insert this, insert another chart, and help me to do. I'm still working with this system. So help me to do something like this. Come to this place. Let me drop it here. And okay. So and what and profit. So and then let me also hide all these button. I don't need the legend. And then let me see what I can do here. I'll come back to my query field, query and connection, and come to this page. Let me reduce the size of this. So let me remove legends. So I can do speed mode. What? By profit. This is segment like profit. Segment by what? By profit. So this is what? This is another sample of what you can do from that data. I won't take much of my time on this. Look at it last week, and I believe most of us have also worked with it. So I'm just using this one to introduce you to what we call Power Query and what we are calling Power Pivot first. Now, you know, last week I told you how you can format your dashboard, right? You know, you can do that right now. I believe everybody has been working and we have done our assignment. I believe we all did well, even though I never check it, but I believe we all understood what we did last week. So like this, up and turn this to white. You saw my picture, the picture I shared with everyone on Slack. So I just decided to do that so that I can, and I've seen a lot of people, I've seen some of your work that is very neat, everything's okay, perfect, and I really, you are doing well. So let me add timeline to this. Where's my timeline? I can click on any of these and do what? Inside timeline. So, you know, on our on our table, we only have one date left there because we remove shift date, we only have other date now. So let me add this to it and do this. Let me see how my timeline will be. So, you know, the data started from where? From 2017, I guess. So I want to see it on what? On monthly basis or day basis or something like this. And you can do it quarterly, and also you can do it. Okay, probably our data is only for what? December 2017. Let me check. Can we change dates? December 2017. Okay, that's all about our data. So can you see? It will change this for us. No data here, but we have data here. You can clear everything. Let's do it monthly basis. How many months do we have here? We have November, we have January, okay, of 2017. So yeah, can you see? If I do November, if I do December, so, but let me connect it to this table, the other table, that right? You can click on this timeline. The same thing you did for your slider last week. Come back to slider, to timeline here, and then click on connection report. Connect it to the second chat and click OK. Can we all see this? So you can decide to modify the color of your timeline, of your chart, everything. Okay, I so much love this color while working with charts. I love working with either black or red, or I can work with timeline while maybe I can change the type of my chart. So I can do this as well. Let me do this. I'm having these two tables now. So let me click on November. After connecting it, can you see what I'm having? So on January, can you see? February, April, you can compare all this data. You can compare everything. So without wasting much of time, this is first introduction to what we call Power Query and Power Pivot. Though I'm going to show you more of it in the next 10 minutes, I want you to ask questions based on what you have done so far before I will move on to use another data.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, sorry, I'm actually just joining because I didn't know it was starting by 10 until someone hinted me. I don't know, could you, sorry, if you could you just breeze through what you have done so far? Or if not, I could just want to report it.
Okay. Any other question?
Yes, please, can you, I know, how did you put in the pivot chart again? Because I couldn't really tell what you were doing. That's for inserting the second pivot chart. I remember last week you explained how to do that, but I have to insert a second pivot table. But I kind of missed how you did it this time around. And when I tried to do it, I ended up using the same pivot table and then doing a pivot chart. So I don't know if you did it directly or if you used the table first and then now did a chart, or if you just inserted the chart, the second one. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
I got it. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, I think there is a bit of delayed lag
Go
when you were speaking. What is happening for a long time? My internet is good, but there's been a lot of delays. When you say it's coming up, those things don't show immediately. You might need to slow down a bit and go over it. Thank you.
Okay. Probably I will stop and join again. Maybe after I answer all these questions. You get that?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? I hope we all got. I believe your silence is like you understand what I've been doing. So, but let me just do a recap of what I've done so far today. I introduce everyone to Power Query and Power Pivot and then Power Query to do 3 process, or let me say 4. And that's the reason why I show you this. You can make connection to data in the cloud or a service or locally. You understand? So you can transform this data. You know, sometimes you have what we call structure and unstructured data. Structure. You have to structure it before you can do any analysis or you can create any visual with it. That's another thing. And the third thing is like, what if your data is coming from different sources? You have one data on SQL Server, you have one data on MySQL, you have one data coming from another maybe cloud. So how can you combine all these data together? How can you create relationships, transforming it with your Power Query? Then after transforming this data, you can load it to where? To your. That was my introduction today. And the next step was I opened up my Microsoft Excel. After opening it up, I said, go to your data. You know, last week, what we did, we just open up our data direct and do what? Start creating charts using normal pivot chart. We used normal pivot chart last week. But this week, we are using what? We are using Power Pivot. There's different. Pivot table last week, but this week we are using Power Pivot. Now, I went to my data tab and do direct by yourself. Tomorrow now, if I go to this data, if I input any other data to this data now, I'll just come to my data and do refresh, and everything will refresh automatically from my dashboard. Okay, let me now go back to your, I get data from here, different database, different file and go. We have database here. You can get data from where SQL Server and all this listed below. And you can also get from here, from Azure. We have Azure database, we have Synapse, and we have all this blob storage and Azure table storage if you are familiar with Microsoft. And we have what we call data and Power BI data. And also we have online services like SharePoint, like Microsoft Exchange, we have Dynamics 365, Salesforce, and Salesforce, all this. So you can get your data from all these sources. You understand? Getting your data from all these sources, you can do what? You can use them to create your report. So getting data direct from your workbook, what I did was I click on this. I selected this table, which is my superstore data. After getting that, it opened up what we call Power Query Editor. It will open up something like this. So after opening up, you can check the quality of your column by going to view and then check column quality and do all this. I believe if you watch this video, just go back and you get everything, the process we have gone so far. So after that, we loaded this data back to our data model by doing what? Click on data and then we do load to. That load to will ask you, do you want to add this data to your data model? Good, yes, I'm loading it to my data model. So with that, you will not see any data on your Microsoft Excel physically until you go to your data model. How can you get to your data model? Go to Power Pivot. When you get to Power Pivot, you see manage. Again, click on that manage. It opens up your data for you, either in data view or in diagram view. You understand? When you have diagram view, it will show you all your data in this format. When you have data view, it will show you in table format. Now, on this table format, you can decide to do what? Insert pivot table. Click on this and then click on what? Pivot chart. When you go to your pivot chart, it will now take you to another sheet. Like, do you want to insert it to another sheet or you want to insert it? Okay, let's say, for instance, now I'm doing this. It will ask me, where am I taking my data to? Am I taking it to new worksheet or the way we did last week? And then we move it. You know, this week we are not moving anything. Just click on existing this and then do this and click on this arrow. I can decide to add it to this place now, adding my chart to this place and then click OK. Then do this. So can you see now? It will take me to this. And then I have my feeds list, like the way we have it last week as well. It is like this. And then do what? Maybe I want to do city, but what I say, and I have something like this. So can you see? I have my cities and I decide to do what? I can decide to remove my legend, then let me do something. I can decide to filter by what? Value filter. by saying less than or equal to anything, sure. So, but you can do all this with the help of Power Pivot. No, I don't want to. I don't want us to waste much of our time on this data. I'm giving us another big data, which is going to have more than one table. The data is coming from different tables. So, and the data is what I've shared with you last week, which is called HR data. Let's assume you are working as an HR in your organization or anywhere. Let's work with the data that can work for you as well. We have been talking about sales since we started our class. So let me save this as what? Power Query. And then let me save it in our cloud. Where's it? Let me call this. Data source. No, I'm not saving it here. I'm saving it somewhere else. Report. Let me call this report. So let me save my data there. Now, the next one now, I want to create another one. You now understand what I'm saying clearly. So this. Let's go with HR data. We still work with this data when we get to Power BI. I'm just trying to introduce you to the whole process. Let's do this with Excel first, then we jump to Power BI. So we start Power BI today because we still use the Power BI. So let me do this, create new document, go to my data, get data, and do
Hello,
what?
Mr. Hafiz.
Let me get it from Workbook.
Hello, Hafiz.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
I
there's a
think
bit
there
of
is
delay.
lag.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Is it possible for you
Okay.
to log out and log in
let me
again,
stop it
just
and
so that?
connect again. Okay. Let me.
Thank you.
If you can see my screen now, let me know. Are we together?
Yes, you can see it.
You can see my screen clearly?
You can. Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, we can.
So let me zoom this screen very well. To get started with your Power Query, what do you need? You need to get your data first. Even if you launch Power BI on your system, you will see that the first thing there is what? Get data. The first thing on your Power BI is what? Get data. Because for you to start doing any analysis, any creating reports, creating your dashboard, the only thing you need is what? You need your power, you need your data. So the first thing we are getting here is what? Go to your data tab and get data. And the data is coming from where? The data is coming from Workbook. Click on it. Now the data we are, so can you see this data? That's what I want to use now. So I'm using HR Master. I shared this data with you guys last week, right? If you have it, let me know. If you don't have it, let me know.
Hello, Mr.
I
Phil, you
don't
didn't
have
share
it.
it. It was stored data you shared.
No, you
Yes,
shared it. You shared it too.
yeah, I shared that data
You
too.
shared
Please,
3
you share.
datas.
We shared it, but it was corrupted, so a lot of us didn't download it.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, so on this data now, I need my,
Can you reshare, please?
can I do what?
Reshare the data, please.
Okay, I will do that. So this data now, I have several tables there. Let's open it up first before we continue. Let's open it up. Let's see what we have inside it. Can you see how many tables, how many sheets we have on this data? I have my employee ID, employee name, last name, full name, date of birth, hire date, education ID, department ID, gender, age group, marital status, payment ID, pay type, ethnic group, and can you see what we have? So we have age groups, but seeing this age group, we have what? Less than 30 to 40. When you get to your data here, what do you have there? When you get to age group, what do you have there? You have ordinary the ID. You have only ID there. Sorry, I'm coming. We only have ID on our age group here. Now, when you get to gender, we have either male or female. When you get to education, I also have education here. Can you see? Bachelor degree, master degree, certificate 1, diploma. This is what we have here. But connecting to this data, you realize that they are using ordinary ID, showing that they have something in common. We can relate these two data together if you're familiar with database very well. So in order to avoid abnormality in your database, you need to separate it and then separate different tables, and now you can connect them with what we call foreign key. That foreign key is just like what we connect one table to another. Either you do your relationship in one-to-many or many-to-many relationship or many-to-one relationship. So let's do this. I have my age group, I have my pay type. So the same thing applicable to pay type as well. Other this pay type, I have payment type ID. So whether it's going to be contract, it's going to be all, so we have pay type there. Now we have ethnicity, which is also come with group. We have education, we have position, whether you are CEO, COO, all this, we have it there. Now, let me do all these tables and take them to Power Query. And then from Power Query, we send them to Power Pivot, which is our data model. Then we now see how we can create relationship. Now, let me do that by doing what? Going to my Excel and do what? Go to my data tab, then get new data. And then from my file, I'll get data from Workbook. And this is the most important part of what you have been doing so far. Don't expect anybody in the whole world to give you simple data to analyze. They always come with unstructured data, and they want you to perform magic and give them something reasonable. They want you to tell a story with their data. They don't care whether the data is good or bad. They don't care whether it's structured or unstructured. So let's launch this data by importing it. You do what? Import. Click on it and then import. Now, can you see we have multiple tables here? I can click on this, select multiple table item. So I need, first thing I need my employee information. I need their education. I need their age group. I need their department. I need their ethnicity, position, and I need age group. Can you see? I need their department. No. This is duplicating each other. So I have selected, okay, department is there already. I have my department already. I have my pay type here. So let me select this. Then age group. I need age group as well. So education, salary, employee salary, all this. So I think we have something. Okay. I think this is perfect like this. So let's load this data. Okay, our age group is also there. I have it at the top here. So it was the reason why you're having it duplicated is they've converted some of this to table, and it's also seeing it as range of data. So just select one. I prefer the table one. That's the reason why this one is showing like a table. All this one, they are showing like a table. But some are showing like what? Some are showing like range of data. So let me do this by clicking on what? Transform data. Let me click on transform data. So with that, what is coming up? Our Power Query is loading. Our Power Query is loading now. Power Query. Yes. Can you see now? I have how many tables here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what? 7 different data tables from one same data source. So what do I need to do now? Let me first of all rename this to employee instead of employee 1. And the second one is my education. Let me rename it. You can right click and rename it. I just don't want those numbers there. So I can have something like this. Under ethnicity, I can have something like this. Position, I don't want this number. Why everything carry number like this? So I have department. So and I have pay type. So let's check at the data one after the other. So under this pay type, the pay type ID is what? P or T, either permanent or contract payment or temporary. So the column quality is giving me, okay, we are good. This is valid. Everything is valid, 100%, 100%. Let me check my department. Department is also okay. I have admin officer, I have executive officer, office, IT and IS, software engineer, production, sales, human resources. Perfect. So I have position. Which position are you within this company? So I have all this, they are also perfect. So, and also take note of data type. Now we are going advanced. You need to check your data type. Is your data type alphabet, which is character? Is it numbers? Is it decimal? Is it float? So that's the reason why you can, when you click on this, it will show you, can you see? We have different data type, such as decimal, currency, colon, whole number, percentage. But this data, they are what? This one is ABC, which is what? Showing that it is text format. Why this one is what? Non-ordinary number, which is whole number. That's our position ID. We have ethnicity as well, which is we have something like this. We have age group. We have our age group like this. So I can decide to separate that age group or leave it like that. And then I have my education here. I have my employee. So perfect. So can we do something by doing what? By loading this data to our data model. So instead of doing load to, I don't do load to here because I want to create data. I want to do some modeling on my data. We still look at this when we get to Power BI. So then let's do this by just what? Close and load to. So when you do that, you will see a dialog. A dialog will come up like this and tell you, are you loading this to table? No, I'm not loading this to table. Don't create a bug, big size of my this file. Just create only connection. I only need connection. I don't want it to load it to my Microsoft Excel. And then I will click on check. I'll check this box saying what? Add this data to what? To data model. And then click on OK. So the data is loading to our data model. From your right hand side, you can see query and connections. Any query you connected to, any data you connected to, it will load it to your connection and query pane. Can you see now? This number of rows loaded from employee table, age group, and all this. We have all this one now. So now you can't see this data until you go to where? Data model. So let's do that by going to our data model. Yeah. So I told you can go to what Power Pivot at the top here, or you go to your data tab and then click on this manage and take you to your Power Pivot window. So let me click on this Power Pivot and go to manage. So can you see this? So I have, if you check down here, you can see our employee, you can see education, you can see age group, everything has loaded. So everything has loaded here. So now, you know, when we loaded the other data, the Superstore data, I show you diagram view. Give me a minute, sorry. Hi everyone, can you see my screen?
It's just coming up. Okay, fine. We can see you.
Yeah, we can see.
We can see you now.
Perfect. So let me continue. So I said earlier, like from this view, this Power Pivot view, you can see what? You can see your data in diagram view. Let me go there by clicking on this icon. Someone is spotlighting my screen. So what do you want me to do? So can you see all our data? So coming in group, this is our diagram view. This is my education, this age group, and this ethnicity, and this my position table. How many tables do we have? How many tables do we have? Let me check again. Do we have any other one here? Okay, we still have additional 2 here. So let's do that. So can you see? But you know, for me, I have fact table and I have my this main data. I can decide to put this at the middle. I can decide to do this. The reason is like this. I believe that all this other table can relate with this main table, this employee table. Now, let me save this. Let me go back to my data view. You know, if I try to design my dashboard or if I try to create anything here with only this employee table, I can only do what? Maybe I can do my employee ID, I can do whether they are male or female, I can do whether, but I can't decide which department they are. I don't know their education level, I don't know their gender, their age group. What I can do here is what? By doing, but before I move on, let me create something like this here. Insert, under this, I want to create pivot chart, or let me do pivot table. Let's do this. Let me do it on a system and create it somewhere around here and click OK. Then I have it like this. So can you see all the table has been listed here? But I need my employee table. Let me open it up. If I decide to do a full name with department, there's no department here. But if I go to my department table and do okay, help me with department name. Can you see? It brings up what? All the departments. This Abi Vanades cannot be in all departments, now it's not possible. So I need to create relationship between this data to give me what I want. I hope we get the reason why we need the relationship now. We need to model that data so that they can communicate with each other. So let me go back. I don't need this for now. So I think, let me go back to my data model. Sorry, let me save this data first. This workbook and call it Control S. Control S. Let me do this under my report. Let me call it the let me save this document. Let me go back to my Power Pivot. Click on the Power Pivot. Go to Manage. Under Diagram View, you want to create relationship now. That's what we said. Let me do this. I believe that for this department and the age group or education, I have one-to-many relationship because I have one department here that we have more than 20 people in that department on this employee list. So I can communicate this to this by doing what? Just click on this education ID and drag it to this table and check which one is education ID. Now, automatically, the system recognizes that, no, from this table to this table, I have what? I have one-to-many relationship on this. Yeah, so the same thing applicable to our age group. I have age group ID. Can you see? It's also one-to-many relationship. I can decide to do department ID by doing this. To this. So let me stop from that. Let me stop here and do what? Go back to my data view. Even with that now, if I want to bring another column, I want to add another column to this table. Based on the relationship, I can do that. I can get the department direct by doing what? I can say department name. Department. When you want to add new column, just click here, formula bar. Well, let me do escape first. I want to add new column. Come to your home, where? Come to this place, under design. I'm adding new. Can you see? And the new column is going to be what? I want to call it department name. And equals to what? The department name. I'm getting it from here. I can say equals to relation.
Hello, Mr. Office. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. I don't. Your screen is still not moving, so I can't see what you're doing.
Okay, let me.
Screen is clear from my end.
I'm sure I'm doing that again. Let me share again. Yeah, everyone can see it. Can you see it now?
Not that at the moment.
I can see it now.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
better.
Now.
Better now.
Okay, perfect. So I can do this like this. Let's this column equals to what? Department name. Department name. So it's still loading. It's still loading this data. Perfect. So now from this place now, I'll now say equals to what? I can say based on my relationship, I can say related what? Department, come to department, and I need that department name, and that's all. Close it. Still loading. Can you see now? My data now. So based on what? Based on related. I didn't mean there's no relationship between them. You can't get it right like this. So actually, I don't need this data to do what? To create my chart, because there's relationship between them already. Instead of stressing myself, getting it to a main table, it will just be increasing the size of your file. So let me delete this. let me delete this column by clicking on delete, or you can remove it. You do delete here. Yeah. So let me do this. Under home, I can say insert. Let's do what we call flattening tables. Let me create it on new sheet. So now, for instance, I come to my employee table and I need to count how many employees do I have in general, that they are female or they are in social department. Yes. So I want to know. Let me do let me do education. Let me do education. Click on this. I want to know how many people is how many bachelor holder do the system is showing what? Sum. I don't want to sum the employee ID. I want to count. So don't show me as sum of employee ID. Click on this, change the value to what? Count. Can you see? We all know that the total number of our rows on this file is for 251. Make sure you don't have more than that when you are getting this. If you see more than that, that means it's summing up SPALU. So change it to count. So let me come back to my feeds. Let me click on this. So can you see what I did? I click on this, change the value to what? Count instead of sum. So now at this department, at this education level, we have what? Bachelor degree 71, certificates 1, all the diploma 61, and we have it like this. So automatically table by naming it like, okay, education level. And on this, you have something like this. So we have this table like this. And start to move down a little bit. So let me keep this table like this. And also, I can decide to add another table. Let me go back to my table here, pivot chart. Let me have what and what. Let me have this. Let me have something like this and click OK. Let me have staff with their position. Okay. I can decide to do position. And let's say, let's do this with employees. How many number employee ID? Let me count employee ID again. Just sum it up. Count it for me. So I can decide to have something like this. But let me turn it around. Change the type of this design. Change type to what? Let me have something like this to look better. So can you see? Let me remove legend. So let me remove this and staff that position. So I'm having something like this. Can you see? Is another way. So, or if you like, you can decide to do something of this nature. Insert pivot table and then do what? Do 4 charts at the same time, like this. Let me take it to new worksheet. So, and you can decide to do what? To take it one after the other by doing what? Let me do my staff. Let me do employee. I want to know number of employees that we employ per year. Let me do per year. Let me do employee. Let me count them by age group. Okay, age group and number of staff in that category. So can you see this? I can click on this and do for ethnicity and also count it by what? By number of staff, the number of staff, employee ID, and I will count it. Oh, sorry. Okay, can you see now? There's no relationship between employees table and what? Ethnicity. So I can't create that until if I go back to my data under the diagram view, ethnicity ID, and do this like this. So it creates one-to-many relationship here as well. So I will now do what? I'll go back here. I can do it now by creating. Can you see? Can you see something? So I don't have any error again. So this number by ethnicity, and also I can decide to do. Let me do. We have done age group. We have done this. We have done. Another one is going to be. Let's do for staffs by age, by gender. So I can do gender or marital status, and then help me to count staffs. Help me to count them. How many of our staff is married? How many of our staff are married and how many are single? So we have them like this. And also we can decide to have the last one by gender. So I can decide to have this. Where is gender? I have my gender here. And also I can count how many number of staff we have here. This. I was able to do what? To bring all this together it's by clicking 4-in-1 chart. So let me do this. I will now insert a legend, a slicer to control everything now. Let's do this. Let me close this. Let me make this view. You can remove the grid line in your Excel. Let me insert extra row at the top. By doing this, insert, so I can zoom it in. Now I can click on this. Let me hide all these buttons. I don't want to see them again. I don't want to see this. So I don't want to see this. So I want to have my slicer or my timeline. So I can decide to have slicer based on what? Can you see? Let me do higher date. Let me do higher date, or let me do by higher date and termination date. Can you see? But this is not okay. I'm dealing with time. Let me do timeline. So I can delete all this. So let me do pivot chart analyze, insert timeline, do this, and do this. Or based on their birthday, I want to know who is in the month of May, who is in the month of. So let me do birthday. So I have this. So I can decide to change the color if I like. I can customize it. So can you see now? And I can put it somewhere around there by month. By the month of June, how many of our staff is having birthday? So can you see? You can scroll aside. Can you see? So let me do May. No, 2003. Can you see? But this is controlling which one? October 2003. But how many data do we have here? Let me do by month. So I have this. Let me clear this. What am I having? Okay, this age group. So it might not work for this because I don't think it can actually. Let me check first. Sorry. Okay, we have some people there. Can you see? Total number of people that are having birthday at this level. So just one person. But so you can just control this the way you like. If timeline is not working for you, you can decide to go with slicer. You understand? So, or let's do higher date with our slicer. By doing this, insert timeline, higher date. Okay. I think this will work. So, in the month of July 2020, how many people do we hire? So, no. November, December, June, no, nobody. So it's not even showing anything here. So sometimes it might not work for you the way you want. Just check well, and then I can go on with slicer. I believe slicer will work for me. So let me do this. Let me do this by doing ethnicity and click OK. So if I say based on ethnicity, let me click who is in group A. I know their number. Group B, I know their number. But can I connect it to others, the other data? Let's do this. So I can decide to have it like this. Chart 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. And click OK. So I can decide to have something like this. Can you see? Can you see? So this is how it works. But when we get to Power BI, we still work on this data very well. So I'm just showing you that what you can achieve with Power BI, you can also achieve it with Microsoft Excel, but you might not like it like the way Power BI looks like. So I'm just showing you some tips in Microsoft Excel as well. So the Power data model we are using here and the data model we are going to be using in Power BI, they are the same. The interface just look different. So they are all the same. So you can just have different here. Maybe the visual, the look of Power BI, the way it makes your report beautiful, and some other things like that. So I believe if you practice well, go online, check some other resources, so you should be able to relate very well. So, and also we have what we call Power Map. What we call Power Map. Let me check that. I've not used this data. Do I have any data? Let's create data together. Let me delete this. Let's create data together. Let's have student data, like student ID, ID, their state, yes, and state and country. No, state is okay. Let's deal with, okay, state. Let's deal with country first and state. Wait. We have data. Go to our Superstore data. Don't stress yourself again. Let's go to our Superstore data. I want us to see how you can use Power Map on your data. Superstore data have something we call, we have country there, country and city. Yeah, perfect. United States, and then we have city and state. Insert. Just go to insert and then choose what? 3D map. Can you see this? You see, open up 3D map. But mind you, if you want to use 3D map, you must connect to the internet. It will help you to connect your system to what? Bing map. Can you see now? Automatically, it's detected that, okay, we have, on this data, we have country, and the country is where? USA. And this, we have states there, and we also have cities. Okay, now I'm not dealing with city. Help me deal with state. Can you see? Something is changing. Something is changing here. So now let me change the, let me rotate this map. Let me rotate this map. Which type of map do I want? So I can decide to change the visual to cluster column. Can you see? I can decide to change it to what? Feature to region. Can you see? So what will be my legend? My legend will be based on their profit. Here's the profit category, value. No. Let me do this category. Can you see now? And under this, I can have under value. Let me add profit to it. Something is loading here. Okay. Under this value, let me add our profit to it. Profit. This. And then let's add something again under category. No, I don't want this. The reason why it's slow is because of internet. I think I'm having issue with my internet today. So can you see? So I can decide to have it like a bubble. Let me do time. Time is this. Do I have time in this? Other date. Yes, let me do other dates. So far you had time to your data. Yeah. Let me show you something. Let me show you something here. So if you do some profit and then we have it like a roster bar like this. Can you see it? The places that we have more profit is that's where we have long bar. Can you see them? Or if you have it like a bubble, the place that we have more profit is where we have big bubble. So, but you can add legend to it by doing what? This state as well. Help me to do it as my legend. I'm coming. On this place, let me add state to it. Where's that state? Can you see? Yes. So you see that we have Arizona here with more profit than others. So can you see Alabama is with more profit, and then after that we have Arizona. So we have something like New York. This is where Washington, and we have sorry, can you see my screen again?
No.
Hello?
Oh. It's gone blank.
Okay.
Yes. Coming back up now.
Okay.
It's up now. It's up now.
Okay. So let's do something like this. I think this is fine. So because I added time to it, which is our date, it will add this thing for you, like a tour. You can play it. It will tell you how the data increased by date. Can you see? It's counting here. Can you see? Can you see this date? It's showing you how the data. Now I can use this to create a video, to create a tour. So after this, I can decide to, okay, I want to create it as, I want to set it as scene 1, and I can add another scene, and I can use it to create a video and share with everybody here. So let me do this. Let me do settings. How many seconds? Transition. Do it for 5 seconds. It's okay. 5 seconds is okay. So, and scene name, let me call it profit by state. Profit by state. So can you see this? So don't speak too much. The speed is too much for me. So do this for me. And then I can close this and do what? Open. Can you see? So you can use this. You can say, okay, as of 2014, we don't have any sales at this region at all. This region I'm pointing at. So you can tell story with your data.
Sorry, Mr. Fizz, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. But how did you get to this map area on Excel?
Go to your insert, then you see 3D map.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing is this. Let me stop this video. And I can have it as I can make it good. Zoom in, rotate. So, okay, let me make it flatten. Yep. So I have something like this. I think this is perfect. I can rotate it like this. So you can have your map in this. So therefore, when you play it, it will show you how it increases by time. Yeah, I will give you an assignment. Try to connect to COVID-19 data increases by time. Do something like this. COVID-19 data is on Google. Just check it, you can download it, or you connect to the data source direct. The way they are updating it, you will still be getting the information right on your system. I hope you get that. So, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Hafiz, sorry to interrupt. We read the assignment. Is it possible for you to go through this map portion again so that we can understand you better?
Okay. Let me save this video. So after creating your scene like this, you can use it to create what? To create video by clicking on this. So I can decide to click on this. Computer and tablet or smartphone, you can do this and create this video. It will help you to create it as what? Maybe HR data. Okay, Superstore data. Superstore data video. So let me save it on this, and create it. Will create it for you as MP4 file. And within, you can create another tool. You can create multiple tools. So like the way you normally see weather forecasting in the night. So you can use something like this to broadcast and many other things like that. So allow this thing to finish so that I will create another one. It's still loading. After this, you can open this video. Can you see? So because it's a tablet format, it won't be that clear on system. You can reduce the size. Yeah.
Can you do a voiceover over this?
Yeah, you can do voiceover. And do voiceover. So you can tell a story like, okay, at social point in time, we are not making more sales in social part of the country, and in social part of the country, we are doing well. We need to take note of what we are, all those things, maybe you can talk about human capacity building, or you can talk about, okay, return on human investment, like what you can communicate with your with your managers, and they will feel like, oh, so yeah, that thought with maybe after building this, you can create new scene, and then you can say, okay, create custom map, something like this. So you can create your own custom map, like you can put the longitude and the latitude to it by applying, go to your Google map, check longitude and latitude of the area you want to use, and put it there. It will give you the map of whatever you want. So what else? I'm coming. So you can do create new scene, world map, copy by state, or do new custom world map. By doing this, you have world map. I want it flattened, something like this. But don't forget, our data is dealing with USA. I want to do by city now. So, but I want to do by city. I don't want everything to be on this. So by height of this city should be based on sales. So let the height based on sales, and the category should be based on the city as well. So, and then I only want top 10. I don't want all. You can do that. So filter, come to your filter. Filter by what? Filter by this. You can filter it by, okay, I don't want to see all cities. So, or you can filter by profit. Filter by sales. Okay, let's do by sales. This is it. So if your sales is less than so, okay, I don't want to see you. So can do by this. Or this is the maximum. Let's do something like this. So if your sales is not up to this, don't show. But let's do this again. We have New York and where? We have New York and, can you imagine? So, and we have another one. So I have something like this. So that means roughly top 20 or something like that. So you can do that. And you don't need time here. You can only do, you can increase it. And then you can actually close it off. And tell you, and you have people area, you have state, you have city, you have country within your data. So I believe with that COVID-19 data, you should be able to get something like that done. So we still check at, look at to our Power BI. So go to your insert and check your 3D map. Make sure you're connected to the internet, then do this. And I think that's perfect. It will open up your 3D map for you. Can you see? So this is what you have there before, the thought I've created before. If I want to create a new thought, I'll just do this. And it will open up my map for me. Can you see? So, and you start working with it. You can add text box to it. You can add chat to it. You can add legend and some other things like that. So you can change the theme. Can you see? You can change your theme to something like this. I believe if you work with this, you get. I know you can design more than me, so I don't really have problem with that. So when you want to do it, relating to what you are working with, is to be able to control your color. It just for me, it's just for you to give a guideline, and for you, it's just to explore more to get more knowledge of what you are doing. So with this, my assignment will be like check online, connect to one data source, and give me update about COVID-19. So that when I check your data, if I refresh, it will give me as at today. In order not to say that I did not tell you how to do that, let me quickly run you how you can connect to a table in the website. Let me do that. Let me do this. Where's my Microsoft Word Excel? I can do this. This was we are using before. Let me close it up, this data. Let me come to this place. Let me do new, and let me say get data. Get data from where? If you want to check get data from internet source now, what you are going to use is what? URL. You are going to get it from URL now. So I think the URL is from where? Web. Where is it? From online source. Other source. Yeah, from web. Can you see it? I can get my data from web. So it will only ask me to input my URL. So let's assume that I go on Google, I search for Nigeria population by state. Nigeria population by state. Can you see? I can go to Wikipedia and to click on this. So giving me this table. Oh, I have by state, by population. Okay. What can I do? Let me do this. Let me copy this URL and go to my Microsoft Excel. Paste this URL there and click OK. Connect as anonymous. Can you see? It's taking me to where? Can you see? I hope you get what I just connect to on the internet. So you transform this data, you take it to your Power Query. Can you see? I don't even need to transform anything. I don't have any issue again. So I can just load it to my where? Excel direct. Can you see? So tomorrow now, if they update this data on the web, automatically, if I come to this place and do what? Refresh this data, or I click on this and do refresh, it will do what? It will help me to, or I can change it to what? Nigeria population. Let me change it. The title instead of table 0. So I can change it to Nigeria population. Something like this, and take it back. So that I can differentiate it from between old ones and the new one. So I can refresh. So automatically, immediately I do refresh, it will connect to that link and see if there's any update on this table. So I can decide to do what? Most populous country state in Nigeria. So insert by 4 charts or any other thing, and do this. So I can do state by population 2016. So, and I need what? I need top what? Filter by top 10. Let me filter top 10 and then have this. So can you imagine? Automatically, I generated the data direct from online. So my people, are we good? So I believe we can all connect to COVID-19 data now. So if you have any question.
Hello.
Yeah. Did you get all what I just did?
we got it. I'm sure we watch it. It will stick more.
Okay, perfect. So
I
I
have
believe.
a question.
Okay.
Yes. I wanted to ask, when pulling the data from different sources, would you at a point have to ensure the attributes, the headers, are the same or they can be different? It's just you just pick what you want and have it on the.
They can be different. Okay, when you are trying to create relationship, right?
Yes, because
if the
from different sources, they may need the.
Yeah, they can come with different name, but so far there's some this it is the what is connecting the table together. Make sure it's what is connecting the table together, but they can have different titles from different table.
Okay, as long as the primary keys are the same for each.
Yeah, the same. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Hafiz.
Yes.
A question.
Okay.
When you were doing the HR data analysis, I wondered how do you link in a workbook? You have different sheets. How do you link data in one sheet to data in another sheet?
We created a relationship between them by using their primary key, which you can also call foreign key.
Primary key.
Yes, that's what is unique between both tables.
Okay. Oh, okay. What's similar data within the same table?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, what I'm even asking is in Excel, just in Excel, in that the HR data itself. That's not what you did, but the HR data itself. I know you mentioned that the sheets were linked already before we uploaded it to Power Query. They were interacting. The sheets within the workbook were already interacting before we moved it to Power Query. How do you link sheets in Excel, for the data to relate?
They are not linked together, but they have something in common.
Okay.
Like, let me open the data up. Can you see the general data? The general data.
Okay.
Let me go back. I'm coming. This employee data. But as I said earlier, like this is their education ID. But
okay.
For you to report someone as a bachelor degree, you can't say okay because you yourself that number one means this person is a degree holder or master holder. You that you are managing the data, you might know that okay, this is the meaning of this one or this meaning for two. But while reporting it, you want to report it like no, bachelor degree is so number of employee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason why I now have another table called education here.
Okay.
Where we have education ID and the name of that education.
Okay.
Now, by the time you create relationship between this education and this employee details,
Okay.
Employee ID in this place is a primary key on this education table.
Yes.
So whenever you see one, return what? Just like you are doing VLOOKUP.
Okay.
Whenever you see one, return master degree for me while creating my report. So that's the reason why while creating our report, before you do anything, we decided to do what? To create our relationship through our Power Pivot. So now we sent this data to our Power Query. Send from Power Query, we load to data model. In case this data exceeded normal Microsoft Excel limit. It's showing me that there's a relationship between employees table and employee education table.
Okay.
Now I have one-to-many relationship. If you study, if you go and learn, try to check online, DBMS, database management system, and check under relationship. There's something we call anomalies of database management. So you see, and why creating relationship between two tables, we can have many-to-many relationship, we can have one-to-many, and we can have many-to-one relationship. Now, from this table now, showing that I have many, that's the reason why I'm having star here. Many to what? Many to one relationship. So if we are talking from this table now, education table is connecting to employee table as what? One-to-many relationship.
Okay.
So far you connect this table together. By the time you are generating your report, we can have this table like this. Like what we had, we have something like this here. I was able to pull up what I school education level, and I count how many staff are on this category, on each category. So, but by the time we get to Power BI, while creating dashboard, you understand it better. Okay. So we are going to create better, like you are working as an HR and you want to give them something reasonable. So I will think I'm going to use this data again. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do.
Hello, Mr. Afis. Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
Hello. A quick one, Mr. Afis, please. The HR data, please, can we have it now?
Yeah,
so
let me quickly share with everyone. Let me share it.
All right. All right, we'll appreciate it.
Let me upload it here immediately. Oh, someone has uploaded it. Perfect. Can you all see it? Adesu has uploaded it on the chat.
Okay. Additional, please upload the other, data files that were used in former class, please.
So we can all download it from this place. Are we good now?
Okay, so Mr. Fis.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Yeah. Yes. I want to ask. I'm just thinking out loud. If we want to combine like this HR master file workbook and the superstore, is it possible? We must definitely have things that link them together.
Yeah, you must have you must have something connecting them together. Yeah. So
hello, Mr. Fis.
Yes.
The assignment again, you said to go to data source for COVID-19. Can you rephrase the assignment? What you want us to do, please?
I am saying that go online, check. We have different data source for COVID-19 cases across the world. Then check anyone that you are comfortable with. Use it to create your dashboard for COVID-19. And also give me a tour with your 3D map. Give me a tour with your 3D map showing how the cases increases from 2020 to today. I hope you get that. I'll create the link on our classroom and share.
Okay, all right.
Hello,
Thank you.
hello, Hafiz. Must it be a primary key that links the two data together? Must it be a primary key?
If there's no, and if it is not primary key, you can create it by yourself. If there's nothing link them up together, so maybe they're having one is having a unique number that you can use to correlate. You can merge them together, and on the other table too, you can also merge something like that together to create something unique. So you can do that. Sometimes you might not see something unique from both tables, but you can create it from what you have there before.
Okay.
Yeah, but I believe we will still get there when we get to Power BI. We have some data like that. So sorry for short notification today. I'm very busy today, and I believe by this time now I should be off. So you guys will enjoy the rest of your weekend, and also don't forget to go out.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, Mr. Please next time. Thank you very much for raising it, but please, if you can just maybe a day before, let us know that maybe the time will change so that other people can be aware, because it took everyone by everybody had planned their day around that 12 already. So if there'll be any changes, please just let us know the day before.
Problem.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for that.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So happy data analytics, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, sorry, Hafiz. Can Roland release the video as soon as possible, because it usually takes time for him to release the video.
Please talk to Roland. He's also busy too, but please just chat him up. He will release the video on time.
Mr. Fizz.
Yes.
All right, I want to ask, when we're talking about the primary key,
yes,
can we use their name?
If you use their name,
also?
If you use their name, but some people can have the same name.
Okay, but you can't have some name. Is it possible to have all the three names the same? First name, second name, and surname?
I've seen someone bearing my name.
It's very possible. In Nigeria, it is so possible.
Okay.
I've seen someone bearing my full name before.
Wow.
Okay. So it's very possible. What you can do is like this: you can create a unique ID for them. Then you now combine it with maybe their first name and last name.
Okay.
It's now kind of unique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like an admission number or ID.
Yes. Admission number cannot even be. Admission number is always unique.
Yes.
Two persons cannot have the same admission number. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
So, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks to you guys.
So the video. So yeah, the video. This video, it takes time for it to render. So it's not like we don't get to release them on time, or it's done purposely, because I can't just upload the raw. I can't upload the raw file. It's the file when it's beyond 2 hours. The files are usually too large, so I have to edit, render it. If you've done video production, you know how long it takes for a video that is above 1 hour or up to 2 hours to render. So sometimes 2 a.m. I'm awake trying to get this thing ready. And after that, because it's rendering in HD, the files can go above 5-6 gig. So I have to take it back and compress it. Compressing again will take another 4 or 5 hours. So it's a whole lot of process that is involved. So just
but I believe this one can be released before Monday morning, right?
yeah, the last one was on Monday, so I can get this one before Monday morning.
All right, thank you.
Second thing is power too. So
welcome. This is Nigeria now.
So you just need to be able, you get it before Monday, hopefully.
All right, thank you so much.
Then
All right, thank you.
Take notes. The video, yeah. So yeah, today's class I first embedded a video on the presentation, right, or kind of background audio as part of the presentation. So also take notes that will be part of your final project. I hope that is clear.
Not clear.
Yeah, how to do documentary.
So you document.
Very clear.
You document, so you have it. So you start thinking. So the project will be in groups. You work in groups. So gather your data source, do your video documentation. But when that time comes, you get the proper information on how to about that.
Shangris, can we have the outline for this program? I see as he's using a PowerPoint to say, okay, we have done this, we have done that. But can he share with us the outline he's reading from?
Okay. Let me quickly drop that on the group as well.
On the resource. Yes.
Let me drop it.
Okay. Kazim, do you have a question?
Roland, I have a question.
Thank you very much for this for the class. Well, I noticed the last time we did this is just a suggestion. Last time we used Google Meets, the delays and breaks making less.
Someone mentioned that as
I don't know. I think Google works better or with slow data.
I don't know why Roland chooses Zoom over Google Meet.
Okay, so the Zoom account we are using is a premium account that has been paid for already.
Okay, it's more.
So yeah, so I mean that resource is available for us to use. Then the other thing is the Google Meet. Since we're using the free version, it doesn't give us the recording features. So the last recording I did was using an external source, a third-party application to record. Yeah. So, and then because I was using a third-party application, a lot of background noise were feeding in, which was why some people were complaining that some parts was being cut off. So it makes the video incomplete because to now start cutting the audio, putting the video, merging it together it takes a lot.
I guess we can't do it all then. We'll just make do with the Zoom then.
Yeah, so with the Zoom, so the Zoom, the only challenge I think we have with the Zoom is when your internet is not, and that is not a problem with Zoom. It's just a problem with our own network here.
Okay.
All right.
Make you with this thing. Thank you.
Good afternoon, please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, I have an observation. I realized that on that YouTube video, the subtitle is not always good. There are some things you will say, the subtitle will caption something different. It is not only for our own good. We might have some people that are not part of this group, that are not participants from here, and just decide to come and check. Sorry, please. So by the time they look at it and they get to see information that doesn't tally with what the person is saying, might give them a negative impression about what is there, and some people can just zoom off from it. If there is anything we can do, I would advise that we do something about it.
Okay, so that subtitle is not within our control. So that's a YouTube algorithm. And I think at the moment, the algorithm is not perfect. Okay. So it is not from our own end. We don't do subtitles. So that has to do with YouTube algorithm and their AI. So at this moment, because I think even in church, when there was a time we tried using that, and you have to also consider this language barrier, because when you put an AI feature, the way a Black man speaks is different from the way an Asian speaks. So so if you pronounce a word, the AI will interpret it differently. Okay, so that's the common challenge that we are having with this. So most of this, what's it called now? Voice assistive technology. Okay, it is not perfect yet. We don't have a common technology that can easily interpret all languages the same. So I think there's a way you can turn off your subtitle here.
Yeah, you can turn off your subtitle.
Turn it
and
off.
Also, I guess Roland, maybe you should check while trying to upload the video and disable the feature.